Hello, missionaries! We are so excited about this new campaign until the whole world hears. The most exciting part about it is that in this day and age, we have video to be able to bridge this divide between what's happening overseas in other parts of the world and with our PCG stateside church. We're able to use video to explain to them what is going on, what is happening, the call that you guys are answering, the needs that you guys are meeting, the mission that's moving forward. And so video is going to be so powerful in doing that and just raising awareness through this campaign. So we're going to give you guys some tips and tricks in this instructional video about how you guys can put together the most powerful, best quality footage that we are going to use to put together an explainer video to explain your mission and what you are doing in your part of the world.
Now we're going to cover the things that you need to talk about in your videos. Number one is introduction. What's your name? Who are you? What's your field? Also, if you're a couple, make sure that both of you guys introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Micah and I'm a missionary to Peru.
Number two is we want to hear about your calling. Why are you in the field that you're at? What was the process that God took you through? We want to just know your story and your process.
I've known that I've been called to mission since I was a little girl. It was something I've always known, and it didn't actually begin to unfold in my life until about 4 years ago, and after I got married to my husband Taylor, and we just began to lay our lives down. We were kind of falling into the motions of trying to save and have a good job and have a house and have that American dream. And then we just kind of pumped the brakes and we just realized that we wanted to consult God with our plans. And so we just told God that, hey, we want what you want for our lives and we're just gonna lay down these plans that we're making for a while. And whenever we prayed that dangerous prayer, God just began to actually speak to us and tell us that we were called to be missionaries to other places that were not in America, and we didn't know what that looked like. So we just began to pray and ask God and take steps of preparation. We went to Bible college. All of a sudden, God was so faithful as we were taking steps of faith. He told us through a vision that we were called to the nation of Peru.
Number three is going to be the need. Now, we're not talking about your financial need. We're talking about the need of the field, the need for prayer towards that area. When you went to that field, what was the initial need you saw? Maybe that no one was discipling people. Maybe that there was a lot of teams coming in only for a short time and they were left with no discipleship. We want to know, what was the thing that you saw that made you say, I have to reach this place for Jesus?
Okay, so we showed up to Peru. We just went in faith. We just got a plane ticket and we realized that there was a reason why he called us there. We had no idea what was going to happen, but we just showed up and God showed out and he showed us why he was calling us there. It's because there are so many people groups, specifically villages, that they're unreached, they're underreached, they're not being discipled, they're not being preached to, and because of the nature of where they live at on the rivers and the Amazon, they're so isolated. And so even with all the missionaries that they're coming, there's still not enough laborers preaching to these people. There's still so many that haven't had the opportunity to hear the good news. And so this is the need. This is the reason why God has called us to Peru.
Number four is the vision. Now we want to know, what have you guys been praying for? What is your vision that you want to see God do in that area of the world? Because we want people to jump on board with that vision with you. We want to know, what are you believing for?
So our vision is to see these people that are forgotten, that are exploited, that are oppressed, that are isolated and literally hidden from the world, is to see them transformed in the love of Jesus, to see them not only become saved, but to also become redeemed and victorious, and that God would actually use their lives to go and touch others that have not heard the good news, that God would use them to be the key to the Amazon jungle to bring the gospel forward.
Number five is the conclusion to your video. Now this part can be where you ask people to join your team through prayer or through finances, but we want to make sure that we keep that as broad as possible because we want to be able to use this video for years to come. And simply after that, close it out with a God bless you or however you feel like you want to end it.
So if you guys are interested in being a part of this mission, you guys can partner with us financially. You can get on our prayer team. We have a Facebook page. We have a website. You guys can look at us on pcg.org. So there's going to be some information at the end of this video that you guys can check out if you're interested in getting involved. We love you guys so much. This is not possible without you. So Lord bless you, and thanks for your time.
So now here's some tips and tricks to be able to help you guys get the best possible videos. Now the first thing is you want to make sure that you have a decent phone, whether it be an iPhone or just anything, a Samsung, that takes just good quality video as best as you can, just so that when we put it in the system, it kind of flows with the footage as you guys are already giving us. So even if you have to borrow someone else's phone, try and get this on the best phone possible. And the second part of this is the framing. Now guys, this is the most important part. So when you're setting up your video, when you're filming yourself, you want to make sure that you have a really stable thing that you've kind of set up. We have a tripod, we're lucky right now. So I know on the field that you may not have a tripod with you, so maybe stack some books, but you want to make sure that you hold it sideways because that's going to fit in the editing process the best. If you hold it like this, the video will be funky and it just will not work. So one of the most important things is just hold it sideways, guys. The best thing, if you can, is also, instead of propping it up, is have somebody maybe hold the camera maybe like this and just try and keep it as steady as possible. So now when you put yourself in the frame, you want to make sure that it's set up somewhere right here, because you don't want to have it, off to the side. You want to make sure that it's direct on with your face, maybe level. If you like an angle maybe a little higher, you can go ahead and lift it up just a little bit. But you want to make sure that it's between your chin and your forehead range. Guys, background is super important. We want to make sure that we have a good backdrop. So that could be something as simple as setting up the camera with a background of a cool location in your house, or having a flower pot behind you, just something that's appealing to the eye and it's not boring. Also, get some background of your field too, if possible. That could be in a church that's maybe been raised up, or whatever it may be, the cityscape, just whatever maybe your field can represent. So that would be really good background footage. Also, we can't stress this enough, is to make sure your audio quality is as good as possible. So this means maybe not setting up in a location that is a loud background. And before you send that video in, you want to make sure that you actually listen to it, because sometimes there's certain sounds that can throw off the entire video. So make sure that you're in a place that's pretty quiet. Also, make sure you guys are using a good loud speaking voice. We don't want you to yell, but we don't want you to whisper. We want that happy medium. Lighting, we want to make sure that you guys are able to see the fullness of your face. We don't want shadows. We want to make sure that your lighting is as good as possible. And a good tip is that natural sunlight is always going to be better than indoor light. So we want to make sure that when you guys share these videos, we're going to use Google Drive. And this is the main reason, because you don't lose quality. And it's something that we in Texas and California, we can just have access to all over the world, and it's something where we can put on there and it's easy to pull out and download and plug into an editing platform. And so we want to make sure that as you guys upload these videos, make sure you guys put nice clear titles on your Google Drive documents, because this is ultimately going to save us hours of shifting through footage and finding out where this footage came from, what field it's associated with. So ultimately, by doing that, you're saving us a lot of time and a lot of effort. So in order to use Google Drive, all you're going to need is a Gmail account. You can make one, or you can even use an existing one. We want to encourage you guys to also be getting footage of your field. We want to be able to connect the people at home to that field, and the most powerful thing we can do is video that so that they can see faces and see areas that you guys are reaching. And how you're going to do that is some of those tips that I said earlier, but simply you're gonna hold your phone sideways and you're just gonna start recording, or maybe have somebody there that can do that as you minister. But we wanna get it as powerful footage as possible. So ultimately, we only want two things from you guys: video of you talking about your field and your calling, and also we want that footage of the field that you are working at.
We know that these videos are going to be an amazing blessing to the church whenever they see what you guys are doing. And we also pray that it's going to be a blessing to you guys.
So we want to thank you guys for just taking the time to watch these videos once again. And we're just excited to be able to shift through some of this footage and see your guys' story. So we're just excited ourselves to be able to hear from you guys.